Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A very welcome to English with Faizan. I'm your host, Teacher Faizan, and in today's lesson, we are going to talk about action verbs. Right? In the previous lesson, if you remembered, um, in the previous lesson, I taught you about be verbs. Right? So in this lesson, we are going to cover up action verbs. So let's get started. What are action verbs? Action verbs show an action, right? They are words that show the state of doing something. These are the most common verb forms. Action verbs need s at the end of the word when using with he, she, or it, or any noun, right? For example, you can add any noun, and with that noun, you will add an s, right? S is not needed at the end of the action word with I, you, they, or we, right? We don't say, we don't add an S in the verb when it appears with I, you, and they or we, right? So these are the examples of action verbs. With he, she, and it, we say he walks to school. We don't say he walked to school, right? This is wrong. We say I walk to school. We don't say I walks to school, right? He lives in a house. I live in a house. Or you, they, or we live in a house, right? She writes stories. You write stories. She drives to work. You drive to work. It floats on water. They float on water. It swims in the ocean. We swim in the ocean. For example, we can use a noun, any noun instead of pronoun. Instead of pronouns, we can say Sarah drives to work. We don't say Sarah drive to work, right? With a noun, we add an s, right? Okay. These are other examples. He exercises every morning, right? You can add any noun instead of he, or any instead of any pronoun, right? You can say Aslam exercises every morning, right? Or Elizabeth exercises every morning. Similarly, he likes baseball. You can add any name, right? Dash likes baseball. You can add any name. She plays the piano. He cooks every weekend. It works well. It swims in the ocean. Now let's take a look about I, you, we. Okay. I eat meat. They eat meat. Or you eat meat. I study at the library. You study at the library. They study at the library. We study at the library. Okay. Same as you speak a different language. We speak a different language. They speak a different language. We speak a different. Okay. You drink milk. Um, can please make sentences with we, I, or they. Okay, in the comment section, please. And I'm gonna check your comments. They sing at church. Make this sentence with I, you, or we, right? And I will check your homework. They sleep early. We work in an office. We play in the backyard. Okay, action verbs can be turned into negative sentences. Negative sentences need do not or does not before the action verb, right? When using does not or do not, the action verb does not need s at the end of the word, right? We don't say he does not walks to school. This is absolutely wrong. We don't say. We say he does not walk to school. For example, if you want to make affirmative sentence, so how can you make it? We eliminate does not. We say he walks. But when we add does not, okay, we drop the s. He does not walk to school. Okay. Similarly, he does not live in a house. She does not write stories. She does not drive to work. We don't say he does not lives in a house. She does not write stories. I saw many copies or many books or many notebooks in which students write right, she does not write stories or she does not drives to work, which is absolutely wrong, right? They are beginners, I know they are beginners. Okay, she does not drive to work. It does not float on water. It does not swim in the ocean. I do not eat meat. We don't say I don't eat meat, right? No change in, because we we don't add an s in an affirmative too, and similarly in the negative sentence we do not add an s. I do not eat meat. I do not study at the library. You don't speak a different language. You don't drink milk. They don't sing at church. They don't sleep early. We don't work in an office. We don't play in the backyard. Action verbs can be turned into questions or interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences begin with do or does. They always end with a question mark, right? This is a sign. Always end with a question mark. Use does before he, she, and it, and do before I, you, they, and we. Right? What we need to do is at the beginning, right? We write does in the beginning and do in the beginning. Does he walk to school? The normal sentence, affirmative sentence, is he walks to school. And the negative one is he doesn't walk to school. Does we apply in the beginning. Does comes in the beginning. Does he, and again not, we eliminate, we are going to eliminate not, and again does he walk to school, right? Simple. Does he walk to school? We don't say does he walks to school. No. Does he walk to school? Does he live in a house? We don't say does he lives in a house. We say does he live in a house? Does she write stories? We don't say does she write stories. We say does she write stories? I know many students make this mistake. Please don't make this mistake. We say does she write stories? Okay, again, do I need a map? Do I hear a bird? Do you speak a different language? Does she drive to work? Does it float on water? Does it swim in the ocean? Do you drink milk? We don't say does she drinks to work. Does it floats in water now? Do you drink milk? Do they sleep early? Do we need to go home? Right? Okay, let's repeat this topic one more time, and then I will show the quiz. Action verbs show an action. They are words that show the state of doing something. These are the most common verb forms. Action verbs need s at the end of the word when using with he, she, or it, or any noun. S is not needed at the end of the action word with I, you, they, or we. These are the action verbs. He walks to school. He lives in a house. She writes stories. She drives to work. It floats on water. It swims in the ocean. I walk to school. I live in a house. You write stories. You drive to work. They float in water. We swim in the ocean. Right? These are the your homework is write sentences in the comment section with, for example, this is the sentence he exercises every morning, and make a same sentence with she, it, noun, right? And with I, you, they, right? Make each sentence with different pronouns, right? This is your homework. Okay, action verbs can be turned into negative sentences. Negative sentences need do not or does not before the action verb. When using does not or do not, the action verb does not need s at the end of the word, right? So we make it he does not walk to school. We don't say he does not walks to school. Okay, and we don't say he do not walk to school. Okay, this is a wrong structure. Again, this is your homework. Make this sentence with rest of the pronouns, right? Rest of the pronouns. Again, you do not drink milk. We don't say you do not drinks milk, or we don't say you doesn't drink milk, right? I do not eat meat. Again, okay. Action verbs can be turned into questions, right? Interrogative sentences, questions begin with do or does. They always end with a question mark. Use does before he, she, and it. Use do before I, you, they, and we. So, does he walk to school? Do I need a map? Do I hear a bird? Do you speak a different language? Does she write stories? Does she drive to work? Does it float on water? Does it swim in the ocean? Do you drink milk? Do they sleep early? Do we need to go home? Okay, I hope you have understood this topic. Until then, take a very good care of yourself. Before going, I want to mention that I'm gonna show the quiz, right? And then I will show the answers, right? So take a quiz. I hope you've liked my today's lesson and quiz, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until then, take a very good care of yourself. Bye bye.